Hi everybody, Natasha Koch here with the Van City Home Team. I'm going to talk about stress. I'm going to talk about stress for real estate agents because I am one and because I know what it's like to be one. And I think that this is going to relate to anybody out there in a stressful, well, actually anybody out there that's under any kind of stress. So it kind of dawned on me today that this is an overall issue. And I don't know if many years ago there was this much stress in the world, but today in particular, I really noticed a lot of stressed out people. And I wasn't one of them, which was great. So I actually conducted my day in a really calm manner. And I was able to observe everyone else around me that was completely stressed out to the point where they were making themselves almost sick and causing more harm than good, in my opinion. So I thought, what a perfect day to talk about stress. Of course, I'm going to relate it to my own industry, and any of you real estate agents out there will probably relate to this. So I'm going to talk about how to make real estate less stressful for us. Stress is really a killer in any way, shape, or form, and I'm love to get some feedback from you if you think that the world is more stressful now than it ever has been before. I mean, granted, we have COVID to deal with and all other factors, but technology, of course, is driving things much quicker. People's expectations are much higher, and so in real estate, it's probably one of the most stressful careers. So. Mainly because we're in a very competitive industry. There's many realtors in my marketplace. I don't know about all of you other realtors, but when you're competing against others in an industry like this, you have to be fast, you have to be efficient, and you have to beat out your opponent. So it's like a constant stress factor. Now, I happen to be one of those people that really do well under stressful situations. I'm kind of the girl that you want to have if there's a crisis, because I immediately go into problem-solving mode and I'm able to sort through and prioritize what needs to be done. So that's great. However, it really does take a toll on me and everyone else. So here's some tips on how to have less stress in your life, or how to at least manage it better. So number one, and actually I do this, not always, of course, but today in particular, I worked in the moment. So working in the moment means consistently staying on task. So it's very easy to get distracted. Our mind is thinking about the 10 different things that we need to do in the day. And if you are focusing on 10 different things, then you're not focusing on the one that you're supposed to be doing. So super important to work in the moment. Take a look at your schedule. If you're supposed to be meeting, so-and-so at the coffee shop, put your phone away, leave it in the car if you don't need it, so that you're not being distracted and you can focus on that person and actually do a really amazing job. So you can use this in any industry. If you miss out on a client in the meantime, because that of course does happen. I mean, we're in an instant gratification world. So if a client happens to call while you're in the appointment with the other client and they're upset because you didn't answer your phone, you know what? Don't dwell on it and move on, because there will be another client probably that was upset with the last person that wasn't available when they called. So that's number one, work in the moment. Number two, keep a firm schedule and don't put things off. So I schedule everything. I'm really strong into time blocking. I don't always follow everything on my schedule because I happen to be also one of these people that put a little bit too much. I use Google Calendar, and in my Google Calendar, I have this color coding where green is health, red is for work, and then I sort of do a little mirage of different colors for fun things or, time out. Now, I even put my personal activities in my schedule, and I have been teased by family and friends that is a little bit OCD, but the truth is that if I don't put personal time or shopping or visit with my children or whatever in my schedule, it's not going to happen. Keeping to a firm schedule is important. Don't put things off. It's very easy to say, oh, I'll do that tomorrow. And I know because every day I have a designated hour that I need to make calls to obtain new clients. And there's many times where I don't feel like making those calls, or, somebody wasn't happy to hear from me and I'm super depressed now and don't want to make another single call and be, rejected. I have to push past those moments. It's kind of like going to the gym or, anything that you don't want to do. What I do know is that once I've made those calls or once I've accomplished that task that I didn't put off, I always feel much better. And when you feel good, like going to the gym and realizing how good you feel after, it actually projects you into a completely different mindset where you can tackle the rest of your day with a lot more ease and less stress. Number 3, actually I already said number 3 within number 2, which is routines, activities, hobbies, non-work related stuff, put it in your schedule, because it's very easy to fill up your schedule with a lot of business tasks and then you run out of time for family and friends. And after all, what are we really working for? If we don't make time for them in the first place, then what are we thankful for? Number 4, identify what your big stresses are and prepare for them ahead of time. So I know for myself that I used to be notoriously late. I'm still late on occasion, but that's one of my biggest stresses, is being late. So I need to pre-prepare so that I'm not late for an appointment. For real estate agents, we have a lot of steps in our job. So it's not just like the public seem to think that we just show homes, sell them, and make a lot of money. We have to find clients to sell houses to. We have to do a presentation to be chosen as the one that they're going to use. We have to show the properties in order to find a potential buyer. Then we have to go through the closing process. Closing the buyer, I guess, on whether or not they're going to buy the property. Negotiate the contract. We have to have an enormous amount of legal background to even negotiate a contract or to write one in the first place. And then, prospecting for new clients, because obviously that's not going to be our only client. So I spend a lot of time putting together systems so that I can eliminate that stress and I can be prepared for those steps in the process. So for your job as well, you can do the same thing. Eliminate your stresses by knowing what they are and then taking those biggest stresses in your life and putting them in a manageable format. Number 5, failing to prepare is to prepare to fail. So prepare yourself. I had an appointment today, actually, that went super well. I mean, I had an amazing appointment, listing appointment. They're not ready to sell yet. And we were able to go through all of the work that I did in preparing to know what's happening in the area, know how many sales are happening in that location. Similar properties. The client was blown away with the amount of work and preparation I put into this appointment. And I was even blown away with how much prep and work I put into the appointment. So, regardless of the outcome, you're going to feel good about yourself by even putting together the preparation and the work. You're going to feel more confident. You're going to feel more at ease, and you're going to be ready for questions that you will know the answer to because you're prepared. So those are the 5 top suggestions that I have if you're a real estate agent or if you're in any other industry that could help eliminate some stress. And the bottom line is, guys, I know that the world is stressful, but sometimes you just have to take a deep breath and realize that some things can just wait. And if you are not feeling mentally healthy in that moment, then maybe it's time to take a few minutes to debrief and really get focused on what is important.